Hi everyone, and welcome back to Brahmaloka Tarot. I'm Lauren, and today's reading is all about reconnecting with your inner child. What's that part of you longing to say? So let's start by grounding. We'll breathe in through the nose and then gently out through the mouth. And we'll do the 6-3-9 breathing 6 seconds in through the nose, holding for 3 seconds at the top, and then releasing and exhaling out through the mouth for 9 seconds, okay? So just exhale everything out of your lungs right now. Take a nice breath in and out. Exhale, and then here we go. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top, 1, 2, 3. And then release through the mouth. Exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, shake it off. Okay, so now just trust your heart and your intuition that you will be navigated to the pile of your choosing. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. I will now show your significator cards and your crystal selected for your readings. Pile number 1 is this card with the number 1, and it says, "When the storm spirits play." That is with this stone. It is Sandstone. Pile number 2 has this card with the number 12. It says, "If the wild ones come with sticks." And that is with this Seaglass. It's sea green Seaglass. I used to collect this. And then pile number 3 has this card with the number 25. "Time to feed the hungry heart." And that is with this pink and white Mica crystal. Okay. Take a minute here and pause the video if you need a little bit more time. And once you've chosen your pile or piles, then head down to the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section, and there you'll find the timestamps for your individual readings. And I'll see you in your separate readings. Hi, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. Today's reading is all about your inner child and what your inner child is trying to tell you right now. So, here is your pile's significator card. It is the number 1, "When the storm spirits play." It's kind of nice. Like, the background of this has an eagle, and the eagle's eye has a lightning bolt coming from it. The eagle's looking with one eye, the left eye, at you. Then on the bottom, there are 2 dogs howling music signs, treble and bass music signs. And one dog is blue with sparkles or stars on it, and then one dog is red with stars on it. And then there's just a whole bunch of other things going on, like mouths open. There's elephants and other types of creatures. Definitely lots of drums and instrumental type of things, and a bee, I think. So yeah, we'll put that off to the side. And your stone for today, I don't believe it's a crystal, it's called Sandstone. And I got this one from when I was living in Arizona and I've had it ever since I lived in Arizona. It's a beautiful stone. For me, it's very sentimental. So I have channeled messages for each and every pile. I'll start with reading the channeled messages to you, and then we will jump into your tarot card reading. We have oracle cards. I have prepared oracle cards right here. Sorry, I forgot to put that right there. So let's do that. And then I did want to say that there were 2 cards that came out of the Starseed Oracle deck that were meant for every pile. So I'll show you those right now. These are the 2, and it's really interesting that these ones came out. They flew out, and I was like, huh, that's strange. And then I looked at them. Look, it's Child of the Cosmos and the Golden Children. Interesting, right? So the Child of the Cosmos has, underneath of it, it says, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. And then the Golden Children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Ooh. I like these 2. So I just wanted to show you these. I'll keep them off to the side because it's not like necessarily part of your specific reading, but this is an overarching view, of course, of the readings today. Okay. So for your channeled messages, your inner child, what does your inner child want you to know today? I see you drawing squiggles and curly cues on a piece of paper, looking out the window of a classroom, daydreaming about everything. Those young eyes of yours full of wonder, curiosity, awe, and inspiration. The trees outside the window blowing in the wind, your imagination running off, getting carried by the wind, by a realm to a realm of reality where all things were possible. You grew up thinking that one day you'd fulfill those dreams. You'd be the one that could make the impossible possible. Then why do I feel all of a sudden so sad for you? Ah, I see. One blow after the next, life tested you. You got hurt, sick, grandparents died, family pets died too. Then you saw wars, animosity, pain, and struggle being showed on TV. You suffered traumas, and those dreams of yours started to fade into the background as you tended to immediate matters. Survival mode kicked in. You saw life was transitory and that one day you died too. You felt more deeply than others. Words cut harder, and you were betrayed over and over. Yet there's still a small child within you that quietly nudges you to take a second look, to slow down, to listen to the wind through the trees, to feel the air filling up the lungs, to roll around in the dirt, to laugh uncontrollably at the absurdity of the world, to be drunk and high off of life itself, to dream big again, to love deeply again. A small child, your inner child, stares up at you with a great big question mark on their face. What happened? You promised you'd never give up. And with a big smug look on their face, they kick you in the shins, make a na-na-na-boo-boo face, and scream out, "Come on, you old fart, try and catch me." And off they go into the mist of the unknown. Are you willing to run into the mist after your child self and play? Wow. It almost made me really sad when I was channeling that, like around the time when all the blows of the world, like all the things that you were inherently just absorbing from the world around you, and all the things that you were still open to, yet blow after blow, it just seemed like things got to you after a while, even though you didn't mean for it to happen that way, of course. And it was kind of like a sinking feeling in the heart, into the gut. And I still kind of feel that way for you a little bit, almost as if like this is the verge, this is the threshold for you to say yes to life again, for you to be able to move forward again with that inquisitive nature, with that, daring self of yours to just run into the mist after your inner self? What's going to be on the other side of that mist? How do you know it's going to be bad? You can't hold yourself back anymore from these experiences. I almost feel like whether you like it or not, there's going to be an experience coming that kind of pushes you off the edge a little, kind of nudging you forward and pushes you off into the deep end of the pool so that you just go into the mist and you experience that inner child self once again. That child self that was that daydreamer, the one who just could make anything possible in their minds and their imagination. So what I'm going to do is just read really quickly this first card, when the storm spirits play, your significator card. I'll just quickly look at the guidebook here because I enjoy these cards a lot, and you can find a lot of meaning just from its pictures, but I do want to read a little bit of it. It says, essential meaning is understanding how to navigate divine chaos, clear the air, stir the pot, scatter seeds, and bring new possibilities. You're being asked to surrender your need to control outer circumstances, which is based on a desire to feel more certain, avoid confrontation, or resist change. This card signifies a time to trust that this chaos, this disorder, this turbulence that has shown up in your life is temporary, but important. You're now able to let go of what is unnecessary or that which you've resisted releasing. Even if you find yourself in conflict now, there is a gift in this. It invites you to see things from alternative perspectives and provides you with a lot of valuable information. Now, actually it says, new important possibilities arise from the chaos at hand. For now, the highest good for you is to remain in the center of the storm. Meditate and be mindful of your reactions as you don't yet have all the information needed to make an authentic choice. Watch and wait. There's a divine reordering at the root of this chaos. And in the storm, just like mist, you can't see what's going on necessarily. Yet in the eye of the storm, what I'm thinking is like there is clarity in that, because you can see the storm all around you. Say if you're in the eye of a storm, it's like clear skies right up above your head. But all around you, there's all this chaos. That's kind of being in a centered state of mind, a centered state, because you can actually see what's going on around you without getting sucked into the drama and the chaos, right? So let's take a look at your tarot cards now, and we'll go from there. Okay, what is it that your inner child wants you to know, pile one? What is it that your inner child wants you to know? This is a timeless reading. Woo! Okay, the 5 of Flowers, the 4 of Hedgehogs, and then the 9, is that the 9 of Hedgehogs? I'm reading this upright today. Let's see here. So the 5 of Wands is the 5 of Flowers. The 4 of Hedgehogs is the 4 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Hedgehogs is the 9 of Pentacles, so you've got a couple of Pentacles. But we were talking about conflict and chaos, and needing to control everything around you, feeling more secure in the chaos. And yet this 5 of Flowers is like showing this conflict, definitely. There is conflict around. There is a storm that you're being asked to kind of watch, and your inner child kind of likes watching storms, to be honest. Not getting engaged in the storm itself, but watching from an objective point of view, kind of watching and waiting and seeing what happens and seeing if there's lightning, seeing if there's big hail that comes out of the sky, like all the things that happen, and then those puddles that you can't wait to jump in. As a child, you're just like, woo, you know, all the things you could do after a storm. It gives life. It's kind of exciting, isn't it? Yet the drama is something that you don't need. So it's asking you to kind of like just watch and be okay with, you know, not knowing what's going on quite yet right now. Like, wait until the storm settles. There's definitely, you know, mist around. And then the Four of Hedgehogs is kind of like, yeah, that need to hold on to the stability and security in your life, like that's going to make things better. But it's not. As you could see from your child self, your child state of mind, you have seen things as you grew up and as you were getting older, that people started dying, that animals started dying, that you could feel the energies of others, and that it was overwhelming because there's a lot of people with anxieties, and there's a lot of conflict and chaos. And especially now, you know, if you're a child or you have children now, like there's just a lot going on in the world, and it's not getting any easier to kind of navigate through these times. I think in some way, with the advent of AI and everything, it's kind of getting a little bit more cloudy, like unclear. And that's what the inner child is saying, like, be okay with being unclear. There's a subtle confidence that your inner child has that's coming through the Nine of Hedgehogs, also known as the Nine of Pentacles. There's this subtle confidence, like, this is a moment that you've been building up to over the years, and your inner child is like, yes, you are ready. You're ready to step into the unknown. You're ready to watch the storm. You're okay. You're okay at that standpoint, at the eye of the storm. You're okay. There's nothing that's going to hurt you right now. There's nothing that's going to inevitably hurt you. But there's more to life than what this, you know, miserly energy is showing, which is the stability. Like, what I keep on seeing in my third eye is, have you watched Finding Nemo? And in Finding Nemo, Dory, one of the, it's not the clownfish, what is she? I don't remember what kind of fish she is, but she's the blue fish, one of the main characters. And Dory, you know, she's the one who goes, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's what you do, you swim. Or I can't remember, but it's like, I remember there was a part where the clownfish, and I can't remember his name, if you recall, then put it down in the comment section. But he says, like, oh, don't do that, that's scary out there, you know, I want you to be safe. And Dory's like, well, that's kind of crazy. Like, if there wasn't anything that happened to us, then life would be pretty boring, right? Like, that would be a pretty boring life. So there is that kind of thing. Like, there's some excitement in the knowing that there is a knowing that life has a lot of twists and turns, that life isn't just a monotonous doldrum all the time, yet it might feel like that at times, but it really isn't. Everything is always changing. The one unchangeless thing is you, your inner self, the one that is connected to the divine. I know I'm going a little deep with that, but it's true. And your inner self, your inner child, so to speak, is asking you to kind of lighten up and observe and just be present in this chaos. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. We've got a lot of cards today, and my inner child was like, yeah, this card, that card, all these cards. And of course, it went for all the Disney decks and, you know, the mermaids and the bright colors and everything. So you'll be seeing that today. And I'm trying to still keep it around between 20 to 25 minutes, and we're already 16 minutes in. Oh my God. Let's see. We have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. We were just talking about that. Look, there's a storm in the background here. There's a gateway to clearer waters here. This reminds me of the Six of Swords in the tarot. It's really dark, but it's kind of like beyond that threshold, there's light. And then called, the initiation and called. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. And another doorway. We just had the 7-7 portal. You stepped through. You were called to a higher, like a higher mission. You've been called for a divine mission, something that really aligns with your highest purpose here. You are no longer wanting or willing to play small, and your inner child, it wants you to kind of recognize this as being like a fun time, as if you are playing a game. It's like, yeah, the tag you're it type of thing. When we were reading in the channeled messages, the end, like when your inner child kicked your shins and said, nah, 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 boo, boo, you can't catch me. Come on, old fart, come and try and get me, you know? And it's that type of energy where, you know, you're invited by your inner child to now play the game of life. Like, actually engage in it, you know? Don't be off to the sideline saying, oh, I don't like this game, I'm not playing it. Like, no kid is going to turn down playing a game, especially if they've been asked and challenged. They're like, oh, bring it. Your younger self is saying, bring it, let's go. This is fun. This is exciting. I've been called, I've been chosen to do this game called life. Let's do it. You know, I'm smiling as we're doing this. This is fun, you know? It's a lot of good energy. Okay, we've got healing. So these are the mermaids here. There's 5 mermaids in the water. There's sunlight coming out. It looks like a cloudy sky, but the sun rays are coming through. There's a couple of seagulls, 4 seagulls in the upper left corner of this card. Beautiful pastel colors in this card. I love this deck, actually. I'll have all the deck names down in the description box for you guys. So healing, yeah, this is a very healing time. A healing time for your inner child. Your inner child is wanting to come out and play, wanting you to actually play in life, to engage in life, whether or not, like, you know, spend your time wisely here. Have a good time. It's not all fun and games all the time. No, there's a lot of adulting needing to be done. But can we put a little spin to that now and put a little play into that, so it's not such like all I'm seeing is like the 10 of Wands energy, like hitting up against the wall, you know, over and over, and holding on so tightly to your hedgehogs here that you just can't let go of them. Oh no, not my security. No, I don't know what's on the other side of that storm. I don't know what's on the other side of these gates. Okay, let's see here. We've got Home Sweet Home with the number 64. Now this is interesting because this is not a mermaid deck, yet there's a mermaid here, and she's at the another doorway to a house, which is a seashell house, kind of like a crab or a hermit crab, you know, those types of shells. And she's at the bottom of the ocean, kind of hanging out. So home sweet home, number 64. This is a fairy deck. That's why I was going to say, like, it's not a mermaid deck, it's a fairy deck. But we'll take a look at that in the guidebook here, because this one's a pretty cool one. Fairy Wisdom Oracle. Okay, number 64. 64. Keyword is the return. There are 3 levels to this card. 1, this card is about returning to your roots. This may involve a trip to your childhood home or to a relative's. It involves thinking about old memories from the past and perhaps releasing those that are not so good. Age and life brings more understanding to events that happened in the past. The lessons are now easier to understand and to absorb. Number 2, this card also refers to the home where you now live. If you are not comfortable where you're living, then start looking around for a new home. Start doing things to your abode to make it more comfortable. It may be time to do a little repair or decorating, freshen things up a bit. Then number 3, for those who are ready to hear it, this card is about awareness. Awareness in this sense is about reaching that point in your spirituality when you suddenly feel your connection to the one source, to God, to spirit. This is when you truly understand that you are connected to spirit and always have been and always will be. It's the knowing that you are part of something much greater than your physical being here on earth. That's what we were talking about. It's the knowing that goes to the core of your being. You have an integral role in all of this existence. Once you begin to understand your own divinity, you will begin to be kinder to live life more fully and to be grateful for all that comes into your life. Okay? So it says, chant, I am. I have always been. I always will be. And so it is. Tap your heels together 3 times today. Interesting. That connects with pile number 2 because we have the tarot deck that we use in pile number 2 is the Wizard of Oz tarot deck. So maybe, you know, there's the reference to the tapping your heels together 3 times to return home. And that's what Dorothy does in the Wizard of Oz. Okay, so we've got a card here with Amanita. Oh, it's one of my favorites. Number 16, expanded awareness. Yeah, it is the awareness. It's like zooming out and seeing the full game of life itself. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay, cool. I'll participate. This is fun. But zooming out so that you can actually see the joy in life. Because right now, it's like, it feels like the energy is so chaotic and you're kind of getting involved in that conflict or in the chaos itself sometimes. And it's easy to do, okay? I do it so many times. I take myself too seriously, like, all the time. Oh my God, I'm already at 24 minutes. Okay, and then we have fear. Fear in the reverse, but I'll put it upright here. And this is funny because this deck is the Prism Oracle, and I don't usually read in the reverse for the Oracle decks, but this one came in reverse, so it's kind of like release of fear. And then we have a gateway here. So you have, how many doors do you have now? A door to the home sweet home on this card. On the initiation and the called card, both of them have doors or gateways. And then we have the gateway with fear as well. So stepping out of fear, or actually, you know, whatever you do fear, what I'm hearing is feel the fear and do it anyway. Sometimes fear is just what do you call it? Like uncalled for. Like there's no real reason to be afraid. There's nothing that's going wrong in your life. Sometimes it's just like this underlying anxiety and fear that a lot of us humans do have, and maybe just the facing your own mortality, having kind of like an existential crisis or midlife crisis, that could be part of it. But like stepping into the darkness, not being afraid of the dark, is another thing that I'm hearing for you guys. Like, just, you know, go for it. go into the dark spaces, kind of get comfortable with your darkness, get comfortable with that side of you. Okay, and then we've got the animal power deck here with llama. Be unbothered. No, okay, I heard no drama llama. So be like the llama. Llama doesn't care for much drama. It's just like, okay, I'm a llama. I'm just going to do my llama things. Be unbothered by all the things, all the worldly pursuits, all the worldly craziness that's going on. Turn off the television. Turn off the news for like a couple of days. Get out in nature, maybe, or just be unbothered by some of the worldly things right now. Like, take some time off of work if you can. Yeah, if you can. And then these are 2 cards actually from a career and life transitions deck, or career and life deck, that my older self chose, not my young self. My child self was like, ew. Why take from that? Like, that's not fun cards, but we're going to do it anyhow. So we've got unfolding. Access to greater prosperity is opening up for you slowly. You are growing as you learn more and keep expanding. Beautiful. And you got a bud here, and it's opening up. I don't know what kind of plant that is, but beautiful. And then we've got expression. You need work that lets you express your creative self. You could do well at writing, blogging, or a career in communication. Wow. And then we're just going to do, so unfolding and expression. I think actually that's part of your creative, your soul gifts and training. You are being trained to accept prosperity coming into your life. You are being trained also to align with a expressive type of work or creative work, something that really calls you home, something that gets you excited and up out of bed every single day, okay? So those are the 2 things. And then this is a crystal deck. We're just going to grab maybe 1 or 2 of these. Okay, 1 crystal for you to kind of end the reading here. I was thinking I was going to get another couple of cards for you from your tarot deck, but I don't think I don't know if I will. Will I? I don't know. Maybe I'll look at on the bottom and see what the bottom card is. But we've got this card for your crystal. This is a crystal that you can work with. It's Septarian, so direction, fearless, and communication. Did we not just talk about all of those, right? Known as the Dragon Stone, Septarian instills fierce confidence and self-esteem. The 9 of hedgehogs right here. Fierce confidence, right? And self-esteem, especially in front of an audience. There you go, with expression, right? So, yeah. However, as much as it improves your public appearances, it also protects your privacy, guarding your secrets and valuing your inner space. Incredibly grounded and connected to the earth, Septarian can pinpoint illnesses in the body and focuses on listening to the body's needs by building a strong relationship with it. The name Septarian comes from the Latin word septum, or 7, signifying that the pattern of 7 or the exterior of the crystal, and it's connected with Taurus, Sagittarius, and the sun. So maybe you're either a Taurus or a Sagittarius sun sign, which probably makes good sense with these two cards of the Pentacles coming out, the 4 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles. I really do think that you are going to feel a lot more confident as you step into the eye of the storm, as you start to see things from a different perspective and really don't disengage in the drama of life. Engage in it. Okay, it's like a disengage and engage. So disengaging from like the stuff that's just making you stuck, but engaging in life in the sense that you are now being aligned with prosperity, you are being aligned with confidence and self-esteem, self-assuredness, even when you don't know what's going to happen next to you. We're all going to fall ill. at some point in our lives. People are going to die around us. We're not immune to any of that, right? But there's more to life, as you know, this expanded awareness with the Amanita. There's more to life than meets the eye right now for you, and your inner child is trying to show you that. It's trying to bring you back to yourself and to have a little bit more fun. Yeah. So are you going to run into the mist looking after your inner child? I hope you do. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading. Go down to the comment section. Let me know what resonated for you or didn't resonate for you. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Jai Ma. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. This reading is about your inner child and what they want you to know right now. Okay? So if you chose this pile, then this is your significator card. It says, it's the number 12, and it says, if the wild ones come with sticks. And this is kind of an interesting deck. It's one of Colette Baron Reed's decks. And if you see this card, it kind of looks like a centipede, some sort of critter with many, many legs and arms, and those legs and arms are holding sticks that are drumming, and then there's a couple of like wings, kind of like dragonfly wings that come out of the drum itself, and it's kind of got this ruddy red, like reddish orangey color to the like vibe to the card itself. So I'll put this off to the side. I will read from the guidebook, the Dreamweaver's Oracle guidebook, just to get a little bit more information. I won't read the whole thing. And then this is your crystal. It's actually Seaglass, so sea green Seaglass. I've used this one before, and it's something I used to actually collect. I used to collect Seaglass all the time when I lived on the coast, on the East Coast here in the United States. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get a couple of tarot cards. We've got some oracle cards that were already prepared in advance. All these oracle cards were picked by my inner child as well, and it was like going for pretty much all of the bright colors, the very imaginative oracle cards, and you know, it was just fun. It was really fun to choose with my inner child. So I also have channeled messages for each and every pile. So we'll start with the channeled message for your pile, and then head into the tarot cards, and then do your oracle cards, okay? Because we got a lot of oracle cards. My inner child loved choosing a lot of cards, as usual. Okay, so your inner child, what do they want you to know? Oh, I also wanted to just tell you before even starting the reading, these two actually came out of one of the decks, the Starseed Oracle deck, and it's really funny because the two of them talk about inner child. So it says the child of the cosmos and then the golden children. Isn't that really funny? So those popped out for all piles. It was not for just one pile. So I had to show this to you. The child of the cosmos says the intelligence of the universe lies within you. The golden children say inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Yeah. So I'll put these off to the side because they're not necessarily picked for your pile specifically, but for all the piles. So, okay. Back to the channeled messages. I see a bunch of children, including your inner child, running around on a jungle gym with recorders in their hands and mouths, making so much noise, giggling and squealing with delight. These children play both instruments and hang upside down on the monkey bars. Boys and girls with no cell phones in sight, no screen time. Is this recess? Like school, you know? I see these children making faces at the adults monitoring them, and the adults seem unamused. You quietly tell yourself that you'll never get old. Getting old looks so boring. I see you, the older you, approaching the swing set where your younger self was sitting swinging. Your younger self looked over at you inquisitively and asked you bluntly, "How's it feel to be old?" You scoffed at the question because to you, you're not that old. But to a child, you're ancient. Your younger self then said without a beat, "If I were you, I'd have more fun. I'd make sure to do something every day that I enjoyed. I want to travel to space. Don't you think that would be fun?" You hesitate and look down at your shoes as you find the words to say to this little child. The child, noticing how quiet you are, says to you, "Okay, I'm the captain and you're my partner. We're launching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off." And the little child kicks its heels up and pumps their legs on the swing, getting higher and higher and laughing. "Come on, let's go," they say to you. Will you swing with them and take the leap? That was such a cute one. But when I was channeling, when I got to your energy, your specific energy, when you were like looking down, trying to find the words to say to this little child of yours, your inner child, it was like you had nothing to say and you kind of felt ashamed, as if, yeah, it felt like shame, a little bit of shame and embarrassment almost, or feeling as if like, well, I don't want to bust this little child's bubble, but life isn't all what it's cracked up to be. That's kind of how it came through, and I didn't write that down or anything because that wasn't the expression that was coming out at the time, but that was like what I was feeling, so I don't know if you're feeling that way, but it does feel kind of like life has been a little bit more of a drudgery, and you almost, the dreams that you once had didn't quite come to fruition, or there was a long route involved, to actually do what you wanted to do. So the number 12, we're doing the Dreamweaver's Oracle, number 12. I won't read the whole thing. If the wild ones come with sticks, the essential meaning is negative self-talk, self-criticism, harsh judgment of the self and others, and gossip. That's what we were just talking about. That's how I felt. It was like you were just saying, well, life's not what it's cracked up to be, and, well, I don't want to bust this child's chops, but, they're not going to grow up to do anything, or blah, 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 Sometimes so this is the little blurb on it. Sometimes we find ourselves behind enemy lines in our own heads. Are you noticing your thoughts being negative and unkind? Do you feel the frustration of not being enough, not being perfect, or not getting what you want? You can easily get lost down a rabbit hole of unhappiness. Funny they say rabbit hole because we've got the, this is the Wizard of Oz. Oh, interesting. So you might like pile number 1 because the tarot there was from, why can't I remember it? Not the Wizard of Oz, but, Alice in Wonderland. It's Alice in Wonderland. So take a look at pile number 1 maybe if you're interested in it. I think all these kind of gel together a little bit today, but we'll see. There's a little bit of a difference for pile number 3, but 1 and 2 for sure. And that's just based off of the channel messages from what I saw already. Okay, so it says, you can easily get lost down a rabbit hole of unhappiness, wallowing in negativity and harsh judgment of yourself, and then can be projected outward. Could you be comparing yourself to others and feeling resentful? Sometimes that relentless ambition that drives you forward also keeps you overly focused on what you don't have and what isn't here yet, so you feel dissatisfied with what is. This energy manifests inside you and will show up in the outer world as evidence. Give no energy to negativity. It is not your friend. Now is the time to remove yourself from this destructive energy and focus on loving yourself with radical acceptance, understanding, forgiveness, and detachment. You must avoid harsh judgments of others too, so step away from gossip. Ignore the drama and nasty comments you see splashed all over social media. Remember that no one and no situation is perfect, so give yourself and others the space and the grace to be human. Let all the negative energy go. Yeah. Ooh, I love that one. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we've got for your tarot cards. Pile number 2. What is it that your inner child wants you to know right now? What is it that they want you to know right now? Okay, that's one. Let's see if there's any more here. What is it that your inner child wants you to know right now? Okay, I'll put that off to the side here. Oh my God. Okay, so we've got the Chariot. The Chariot, number 7. The Star. Okay. That's the field of poppies where Dorothy is sleeping in the field of poppies. And then she's got, let's see, the 5 of brooms. That's the 5 of wands. There's that conflict, chaos. Yeah, pile number 1 might be some significance to you as well. So this is interesting. So you are a highly ambitious person. You always have been. And it said in the channeled messages that, wouldn't it be cool to go to space, and that you wanted to get up every single day doing at least one thing or something that you loved, you enjoyed doing. And is that what you've been doing? Like, not space, going to space. Well, you could go to space in your mind. But what I'm saying is, or if you have enough money, right? But what I'm trying to say is, you are highly ambitious. You have a lot of potential. And yet, the one thing that is betraying you the most right now is actually your mind. Your mind is kind of that little nagging, back of the mind type of nagging that's saying, what? You can't do this. You must be crazy. Like, that dream of yours, you can't do that. Like, it because of evidence A, B, and C. And it will give you all these things. Your mind will tell you all these things that didn't work out for you in the past, so therefore this future version of you could not possibly be better. And yet what this is saying is that actually there's forward movement, and the only chaos and conflict that's really happening, despite your best efforts, really is almost becoming like there's a feeling of being almost overly ambitious to the point where you shot so high that you became, and it's still telling you to shoot pretty high, but it's telling you to also like recognize what am I trying to say? That you became a little disillusioned by some of the efforts that you put in, by some of the goals that you set for yourself, by the pace at which you have achieved these goals, and you're kind of disappointed in yourself. Like, in some ways it could be that, like, where you're feeling a little disappointed, like, oh, well, I missed the boat. But it's actually showing here too that you didn't miss the boat. There's a lot of opportunities coming your way, and it's coming really fast. Despite what you think, despite all this conflict and chaos around you. The 5 of brooms, the 5 of wands, it's when all those trees were starting to throw apples. Kind of a little stuck energy, stubborn energy. And it's creating a little bit of confusion for you too, because like even during this reading, I'm feeling a little confused. You know, I'm saying one thing and then contradicting, you know, and I don't even mean to do that. It just feels like this energy's a little bit up in the air, a little chaotic, a little bit ungrounded, and frustrated. Yeah, it does. It feels like frustration. Well, let's see what your other cards are, so we can get more information on this, because I doubt that I'll pick more tarot cards unless I feel like I need to clarify a little bit more. So your inner child, what your inner child wants you to know right now: fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Was I not just saying that I felt like I'm contradicting myself? And those are opposites, holding the opposites, extremes of life. So that might be part of it too. It's like your mind might contradict itself. Can you hold both at the same time and be okay with it, even through the confusion? Could two things be possibly true at once, even if they are opposite? Interesting. Okay, we've got Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So you're not alone either. This is showing a group of saints and sages who are here helping you. Jesus, Mother Mary, some of the great sages and saints of the past, and avatars as well. Buddha, Kuan Yin, I don't know, all these. So Council of Light, this is divinely orchestrated. This time is very special. Your child self, your inner child, is like giddy with joy, excited that maybe you might play with them, you know? Like when they were saying, okay, you're going to be my partner here, and let's launch right now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And, you know, they were still here. It's not like they went to space, but they were pretending. They were like having fun pretending on a swing set that they were launching into space. Could you do that? Could there be something like that where, and I'm not even sure like where I'm kind of going with this. It's kind of funny because that's the energy. I keep on getting this like confused energy, like, oh, but two things can't be right. Two things can't be true at the same time if they're opposite one another. And it's like your inner child is saying, no, like two things can be true at the same time if you choose to see it that way. Yeah, a little stuck in the mud, some stubborn energy that doesn't, it's like all or nothing energy, all or nothing thinking like one way or the highway. And that's not necessarily your energy. I feel like it may have been passed down to you, or some sort of traumas that have happened to you may have made you feel this way, or there's people around you that have influenced you in that way. Black and white thinking, you know. Okay, we've got the mermaids here. Free spirit. Yeah, you're a free spirit. Your inner child wants you to be free, to free yourself. What happened, you know? How does it feel to be old? I loved that when it came through. I was kind of surprised at like what the child said. It's so blunt, you know. Children are so sometimes brutally honest. And even if you're like 25 years old, I remember when I was a kid and thinking, oh my God, 25 years old? They're 25? They're so old, you know, and you might be like way older than that, and you're like, 25 is a little baby. It's all perspective. And your child self is like, come on, man, just like, let's have fun. Let's be free. Let's enjoy this moment. We've got attitude. Number 1, attitude. This is from the fairy deck. There's a fairy deck that I have. So I might actually look in the book for this one because I really like what is written in there. I think it's really cute. It kind of reads like a fairy tale a little bit. So there is a purple dragon and a purple fairy with red hair. The dragon's on the right side and pointing at the fairy. The fairy has crossed arms and she kind of looks a little grumpy. There is a king bully on the ground, one of those wonderful and tasty, scrumptious mushrooms. And it says attitude. It's all in the attitude. I do think that attitude makes or breaks you. Let's see here. From the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. And it's just the number 1 too. So starting over, attitude. Keyword is attitude. If you have drawn the attitude card, you can be sure that this is a message here for you. Take a close look at the way you interact with others. Stand up for your rights and your ideals, but also honor other people's positions. What appears obvious to you may not be so obvious to another person. Go deep within yourself and ask, what is it that I need to observe within myself? We can choose to act or react in any situation. Do you fly off the handle when confronted with a difficult lesson? Or do you take a deep breath, center yourself, and consider what would be the best course of action? It's important to listen to the inner voice that knows that spirit wants the best for you. Just ask for help and remember that every problem comes with its own solutions. Your own inner self will be glad to whisper the solution to you. Sometimes it comes in words or thoughts of insight. Other times it comes as a message that urges you to have faith that the universe is moving energy around in order to manifest the perfect outcome. This is an exercise in trust and faith. Listen to all that you say and think all day long. Whenever a negative or judgmental thought comes in, immediately replace it with a positive thought. Remember, what you focus on is what you attract in your life, so carefully choose what kind of life you want. The simple act of placing a smile on your face generates a chemical change within your body that brings about happier feelings. Okay, and then the chant says, Mother, Father, God, help me to see what I need to see and to release what I need to release. Help me to see within the mirror clearly and with insight into my inner being. Assist me in being forgiving of myself and others so that I may live the happiest and most successful life possible. So be it. Make faces at yourself in the mirror today. And I think that's something that we should all do, is make faces at ourselves in the mirror, because we take ourselves too seriously a lot, and we have a lot of like negative background thinking and noise that's going on all the time. It's just like a program, right? So if we slow down our thoughts a little bit and notice them, we can replace them with more positive thoughts. That is the way to do it. That's the way to break the chain of reactions, you know. It takes a bit of time. It does take a little bit of time to recognize this and to do it. It's a practice. It's called meditation or concentration or contemplation or law of attraction or affirmations. And whether or not you like affirmations, it's not false what you say. It's only false if you don't feel it. And yet, can it be true still, even if you feel a different way? That's the opposites still working in tandem together to kind of show you that two things can be true at the same time, even if they're opposites. Okay, we've got this card. We got chaga mushroom, the number 2, defense and balance. Defense and balance. Being defensive. If the wild ones come with sticks, holding up sticks, being defensive, feeling like you always have to save face all the time because, you know, you may
really be opposed to one thing, but can you actually see the other person's point of view too? So this child, inner child of yours, is saying like, don't take yourself so seriously. Can you see that the opposites still can be true? And can we play? Confidence. It's a black card with a smiley face and sunglasses. All black. Confidence. I think what you're going to find is that you feel a lot more confident moving forward with your actions and how you react, so your reactions to life as well. Like your inner child is teaching you how to just have that confidence again. Because your inner child is very confident. They're almost taking the lead right now, and I think that you should just let them. Yeah, and you have like a really strong connection to your spirit guides and your guidance. And okay, yeah. Let's see what else. We got the Animal Power card with Black Jaguar. Claim your spiritual power. Okay, so what I was going to say before I turned this one over with Black Jaguar, I was going to say that it almost feels like you have saintly type of energy as well. And I just wanted to say that, like, anytime that you read about saints or sages even, they have tumultuous lives. They have conflict in their lives all the time, the Five of Wands. They were sometimes brought up in households that had chaos all around. They held beliefs that were dissimilar to the people around them, which did create a lot of chaos and conflict and drama. And it's not like they meant to do that, but it's just who they were. These saints, why I'm saying this is because you have kind of like a similar attitude, or you have this connection to the higher realms right now. You have crossed through the thresholds into, through the portal, the 7/7 portal, and you're finding that you can make the next step with much more confidence in yourself, because you have a whole buttload of people crossed over and otherwise who are wanting to help you. There's a lot of energy that's coming through that's like, if you just allow it and surrender to this process, you'll actually find people like your soul tribe, people who are wanting to hang around you. All of you guys feed off of one another's energies. It's like really nice, when that happens, when there's some sort of chemistry between people. And I'm talking about spiritual beings as well. So you're attracting spiritual beings into your life. They're helping you to clear some of this confusion and some of this white and black, all or nothing thinking, so that you can move forward with a little bit more confidence in your life. And this is your message and messages from your inner child. Okay, so these two cards actually were chosen from a career and life oracle deck that my adult self wanted to choose, and my inner child was like, no, don't do that. But I was like, oh, come on, like, we'll see if there's anything that comes out and like contradicts anything that the inner child says. And the inner child was like, okay, fine, you do you. So let's see what we got. Renewal. You need to take time to recharge your energy to get back on track. Challenges ahead require you to have faith and break through. Okay. So a couple of wind turbines here in the background of a sunset. Okay, and then we have rewards. You are cashing in on all the good work you've done. Raises, bonuses, and prosperity are coming in. Keep going and keep growing. So I do feel like you've done the right things. And even if you have done the right things, it almost feels like you still don't believe that you can achieve now the things that you set off to do when you were younger. And I feel like you're on the right track, so keep going. You've got a lot of help from the ones who have already crossed over that realm, you know, who have died, or who have never been embodied, and they're spiritual beings who are highly elevated, enlightened, likely, and then you have your own inner compass, and I feel like you are, despite all these things that you may be feeling mentally right now, there's a lot of movement towards this renewal process, towards, you know, recognizing your inner child and your inner child's needs and going for the gold and having fun while doing it, you know, just enjoying your time a little bit more. You are going to be rewarded for all of the hard work that you have done over the years. And just from like the timely perspective, this does correspond to the moon in Capricorn, the 7/7 portal, and all the things that have been going on for this year. However, this is a timeless reading, so it does not matter. When you come to this, you will still receive that energy. And you are being recognized in all the realms right now for your efforts. Do not quit, do not give up. You're just at the end of the race here and beginning to see how your efforts have paid off. Okay, and then I'm just going to finish off by getting a card from this crystal deck. So let's just see what it is that wants to come through. So we got this one. Okay. Woo, that's pretty. It's kind of a gold stone. What is it? Okay, I don't know how to say that. Cacoxenite. Interconnection, ascension, and attunement. Cacoxenite is known, to raise spiritual awareness and provide divine connection between the universe and humankind. With cacoxenite, synchronicities are not just coincidences, they are messages, so pay attention. Become aware of the universe's messages as it is constantly communicating with you. Cacoxenite asks that you look at challenges as lessons and wonder, what can I learn from this? Perspective is everything. And with cacoxenite, embracing positivity and choosing your thoughts becomes easier and easier. It's connected with Sagittarius and the moon. Isn't that interesting, huh? Beautiful stone. Maybe you'll want to work with this over the coming weeks and months. I don't even think I have this stone. This is beautiful. Okay. Cacoxenite. There we go. There we go. So you are a spiritual being. Claim it. Have more fun. Enjoy yourself. The best way to claim your spiritual power is to actually just enjoy yourself a little bit more. Have a little bit more fun. Have a little bit more faith. And choose your thoughts wisely. Definitely work on like affirmations or law of attraction. Like really try to work on your mind and shift your mindset, because right now what I'm seeing is the scales are at like 50-50. 50% of your mind is kind of positive, then 50% is negative thoughts. So even if you could shift like 1% or even 0.5% to like 51% positive and 49% negative, everything changes in your life. You will see a difference, and your inner child is like, come on, let's have fun. Let's have more fun, old guy, old gal. So I hope you had a good time with this reading. I really enjoyed it. This was something that was calling me to do for like the past, I think, 4 or 5 days. So I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading, and then go down to the comment section. Let me know what resonated for you, or if it didn't resonate for you, that's fine. Just let me know. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Jai Ma, and bye for now. Hi, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. Your reading is all about the inner child and what your inner child wants you to know right now. So if you chose this pile, then this is your significator card with the number 25, time to feed the hungry heart. It has some sort of strange creature, a blue creature with a big red heart, and it looks like whisks at the bottom of its bum. I don't know, it's so weird. It's like blue and yellow colors. Okay, we will read from the from this guidebook. This is one of Colette Baron Reed's cards, and it's called the Dreamweaver's Oracle. All of the cards that I use will be down in the description box for you to check out if you want. Okay, so this is your stone crystal. It's mica, and it's pink and white mica, if you can see that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first crystal that I ever fell in love with. The second one, I'm pretty sure, was Tiger's Eye. What I would like to know, like down in the comments, what your favorite crystal ever was, or your first crystal that you fell in love with. What was it? I have a lot of favorites, but my first ever crystals that I used to like pick up and hoard these stones in my pockets, and my mom would get so mad at me because I would have like a whole bunch of pockets full of rocks, and she wouldn't take them out. She would put them through the washing machine, and she'd be like, oh my god, now they're clean stones. But yeah, and a lot of them were mica. This is interesting because it kind of like sheds. I'm not going to do it for this, but it comes off in sheets. It's really, really cool. I love it. So what we'll do, we have channeled messages for each and every pile. I'll share the channeled message for your pile, your group. And then we will get a couple of cards from the tarot deck, 2 to 3 cards. We won't likely choose any more than that for this because we have so many oracle cards to get through. And yeah, my inner child went a little cray-cray with grabbing the oracle cards, and I just went for everything. Like all of my inner child was like, yeah, let's do this deck and that deck, and ooh, that's a pretty deck, let's do that one. Ooh, that's fun, look at the bright colors. So I have a lot of fun cards today. I hope you enjoy this. Let's dig in. Okay. And I just want to say, before I start with the channeled message for your pile, these 2 cards came out for all the piles from the Starseed Oracle. So this one says, and both of them, you'll laugh because like it's so synchronous, right? This one says Child of the Cosmos, and then the other one says Golden Children, or the Golden Children. So the Child of the Cosmos says the intelligence of the universe lies within you. And then the Golden Children says inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Super excited that these came out for the inner child reading. I was not expecting that, but that's what happened, guys. So I'm sticking to it. Let's see what your reading is, your channeled messages. Pile 3 yours is a little bit shorter, but I really liked yours a lot. Your inner child self pulls your parents towards a giant willow tree alongside a river. Your younger self tells them that fairies live under this mighty tree. You just spent hours making a fairy house out of twigs and rocks in the base of the tree. Your child self urges them to look. See, the fairies love their new house. And as your inner child plays with these magical beings under the tree, the parents shrug and say, "That's great, honey." Then they go back to their beach chairs along the river. The older you watches from a distance and now approaches the younger you and asks what they're doing. Pleased, the younger self shamelessly shows off the fairy house and introduces the fairy friends by name. There are 3 of them, your inner child says. You stare and want so badly to believe again, but you cannot see what the younger you sees. Your younger self sees your disappointed face, and they tell you, just use your imagination. And they hand you a leaf full of moss and says, lunch is served. Yum. You become amused and begin to play along. So that one was a little bit different from the other 2. I said if you were interested in piles 1 and 2, maybe you came from that piles 1 and 2, but pile 3 is a slightly different message already from pile 1 and 2. 1 and 2 kind of go together today. So without saying too much, then I will grab some tarot cards from this fairy tarot deck. My first tarot deck that I ever got was this fairy deck. Years and years ago. I didn't even realize that it was a tarot deck until much later. I honestly had no idea what tarot was. I was just like, oh, these cards are cute. These cards are pretty. Like, everything that I do is like that. Oh my god! There's so... Oh my... Okay. Okay, guys. Too many, but we will take this. There's like a whole bunch of these. I'm not gonna... No. The one that flipped up. We'll keep that one. And let's see what else we've got here. I'm so sorry. I would usually keep all of them, but that was like a whole, like half the deck. Okay, we've got the 4s. 4 of autumn, 4 of summer. So the 4 of cups, the 4 of pentacles. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side. 4 of summer, 4 of cups. It says down here, being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity. Taking someone or something for granted. Discontentment with life. And then the 4 of autumn. Manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spend and save money. Help out those who are less fortunate. Security, right? 2 of winter. Ooh, 2 of swords. Indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. And then 3 of autumn, 3 of pentacles. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do. Being compensated for your creative talents. That's a good one. And we have like 4, 3, 2. I'm just hearing 4, 3, 2. Let's see what that is. 4, 3, 2 angel number. It means harmonious balance, new beginnings, and manifestation. You're on the right path. You're guided by your angels and the divine, and encouraging you to embrace positive changes and trust your intuition. So, yeah, it was funny because in the channeled messages, I was seeing like you as the 2 of winter, just like, oh, I can't really see. I can't really see what this child is showing me. Like, I can't see what they see. And you were kind of getting discontented and upset over, a little frustrated. And the 44, the 2 4s together, just makes me feel like, yeah, you are supported, but there is definitely kind of like a major disruption right now in the flow of things, and movement out of that is key. But But it's going to happen naturally, I think. So your inner child is kind of saying, like, during this whole time of transition, which you are in, play. Have some fun. You know, use your imagination. Even if you can't see it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. Wasn't there a movie back in the day that was like it was like a Santa Claus movie or something, and it's like, just because, one of the elves was like, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. When they were up at the North Pole, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of the movie, but anyhow, that's kind of the energy that's coming through for you. Feeling like you're failing to see a magical opportunity. You can't really see beyond the what's going on, but you, like in the channel messages, you have already taken the choice. You have already chosen actually to move forward and to try. You know, you're interested. You're really wanting to believe. You're wanting to. But it's not quite there yet. You're not quite sure if you can believe again. But if your inner child self believes that you can believe, then I believe that you can believe, and you should believe that you can believe it. You know, whatever you believe, you can bring about. That's the imagination right there. So belief is more like imagination, our imagination, bringing in to this, bringing it a little bit more structured into the body system, into the mind, so that it actually like starts to manifest. So I do feel like you might have some difficulties manifesting the things that you want sometimes, and yet you have the ability to do it, because your inner child is saying you definitely can. You can manifest anything you want. Have fun with it, you know? Okay, let's see what your cards are here. We have, all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. That's also the Two of Swords energy, you know? Because the Two of Swords is in the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. It's with the two swords crossed. The lady is blindfolded. So she's asked if she's indecisive or can't see something with clarity, turn inward. So she's got her blindfold on, which means that the only thing she can do is turn inward, using your intuition to really lead the way now. Using your imagination, right? Because maybe you're even thinking like, okay, but how can I use my intuition if I don't feel or if I don't sense it? Like if I'm just really, really confused what the next step is. And it's like, if you get quiet enough, if you start to observe nature, and if you start to play and just have a little bit more fun, that will ignite your imagination. Play with some cards. I mean, you must enjoy cards as much as me, right? If you do, then you're like a hoarder mindset. You have so many of them. I have so many. You should see my place. Okay. We've got deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. The night sky. There's a woman by the waterside here. And it looks like the saguaro cacti all around, so it might be in the desert, the night sky in the desert, where you can see the stars really well. I only know this because I lived in the desert for a little while. And you're being deeply replenished even in the desert. So this is very yin energy because of the night sky, because of the water. It's very nourishing. Time to feed the hungry heart. Going back to that, there's a lot of blue here. You're being called home, too. Your inner child is saying, hey, there's more to life. There's more to life. This discontentment, this monotony, the frustration and distractions and all of that you're experiencing with the Four of Cups, that's not it, you know? You're being asked to sit back and observe. Okay, let's see. Ooh, magic. Yeah, observing magic. So in this deck, this is one of the mermaid decks that I have, and it's beautiful. So this is a mermaid fairy. Surprising. And then there's a full moon in the background. There's water in the background. And then there's like Merlin or some sort of magician in front holding a glowing ball of light above his hand and kind of like handing it over to this this mermaid fairy, this female mermaid fairy, and it says magic here. What I'm hearing is you are going to experience the magic of life once again. All you have to do is just imagine that there's magic around, and there is. So much magic. Just in one breath. Think of all the things that happen when you breathe. Think of all the things that go on around you, and can you just like take some time to observe? You know, when you were a child, it seems like you were a very observant child, and you were focused and loved the great outdoors, loved playing, and loved imagining. Such a beautiful soul you are. So you will be experiencing again the thing that you thought was lost, the magic of life. It's coming back. You will start feeling this magic. Okay. Trillium. So this is a fairy deck. So you've got a couple of fairy decks, and then you've got the mermaid deck, but then she's also a fairy. So interesting. So the number 9 with Trillium, I will look in the description here in the Oracle guidebook for the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. We'll take a look at that. But yeah, this is beautiful. This is a fairy who has kind of like a pinkish dress on. She's kind of got like pinkish brown wings. She has brown hair, and she's just sitting on the ground, kind of looking. It looks like she's zoning out a little bit, doesn't she? So let's take a look at that then. Number 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keyword is self-love. Learn to appreciate everything delicate and gentle in your nature. Delve into that tender part of yourself that holds the cosmic parent and child. Go within and find the small child inside. That's so interesting, because this is the inner child telling you about this, right? So go within and find that small child inside who asks for shelter from life's storms. Wrap your wings around that small one, giving love and comfort. See that child blossom within the unconditional love of the universe into a gentle being of light. Here lies the potential for all things wondrous. Allow yourself the nurturing that will help you bloom into the most that you can become. Too often in life, we see all the things that we do not like about ourselves instead of seeing how truly wonderful we are. What a pity. How much further do you think you could go if you were showered with only with praise, positive guidance, and support? There is a constant pouring out of these blessings upon you by the Creator. It's your job to accept it into your heart and life. Love yourself. Do not forget your divine birth into this universe. You are a divine spark of the God force, and nothing can take that away from you. The fairies recognize this in you. They are often perplexed that we as humans so often do not perceive our own divinity, something that comes so naturally to the elemental kingdom. They do wish to help, however, so follow their lead. And then the chant says right here, Dearest Mother Earth and Father Sky, I am here to receive the love that is rightfully mine. As a child of spirit, I bring this love into my heart and I rejoice. I give great gratitude for the pure potentiality that is me. I allow myself to grow and to bloom into your light and your energy. So be it. Write yourself a love poem today. That might have been part of it too. I was just thinking back to the channel messages and also to kind of some of these energies. It's like you're not giving yourself enough credit. If in the 432 energy is of harmony and it connects with the 432 hertz, maybe if you want, that helps open up the heart space a little bit more. I know that you're on the right track because you wouldn't be inquiring what this little child self of yours is doing underneath the willow tree had you not wanted to engage with life again. You might be disillusioned with all the things going on in life. However, it's not your fault, and there's a lot of things that happened because of your childhood that now has been brought into adulthood, and it can be let go of. You can let go of the pain, of the suffering, of the discontent, like all that stuff. Some of the things are not even yours to carry. So listen to the 432 hertz. You can frequency on YouTube. You can find something to engage your ears with that, like the binaural beats, maybe 432 hertz. I think that will be helpful for healing your heart center, because there's a lot of pain that came with not experiencing the magic of life anymore. When something about it, when there was a period of time when all of a sudden you just noticed, wait, I don't know how to connect anymore to myself. I don't know even who I am anymore. Like how did I do this as a kid? Like how was I able to be so connected? Why do I feel so disconnected now? It's not your fault. There's a lot of input. We're like computers, blank computers, when we are brought into this world. And every little thing that we experience outwardly and inwardly starts to imprint on us. And that becomes a program. So in order to break the program that's been running amok in the background, it's to give you a little bit of rest and relaxation. Your inner child wants you to take a vacation, wants you to enjoy life again, wants you to see the fairies again, to commune with the fairies. The fairies want that too. You're probably thinking, oh, this is all crazy. I don't believe in this. Well, I'm telling you, like, I feel like this was probably me as a kid, just playing around with the fairies and all that. I don't know. There's something to it. Let's see what else we've got here. Reishi with spirit medicine, the number 1. Reishi is good for all kinds of ailments. You could start taking the tincture of reishi if, so long as this is for entertainment purposes only. So of course, just go with your intuition and with the guidance of a professional on that. But That could be a potential benefit from taking reishi mushroom tincture or extract or something like that. It will help to build you up, this fortification. The yin, it's, mushrooms are very yin type of energy. They help to nourish and restore you. They come from a cooling place. They cool and comfort your nervous system. The good ones. There's some ones that you probably don't want to touch. Okay, we've got this guy here with movement. Yeah, forward movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, forward movement. Green. Movement through some of these heartbreaking energies. Finding your passion. Getting back to feed this hungry heart of yours that is dying to experience magic again, dying to experience unconditional love. That maybe the parents, in the channeled messages where the parents shrugged and said, "Oh, that's great, honey," and then just kind of disengaged and left the child to themselves. You might have had parents that were kind of disengaged or, dealing with their own traumas, so they didn't have the energy or the education or the experience or knowledge, whatever it is, to know how to help you and how to connect with you. That's only for a few of you, I think. Some of you might have had some great experiences with the family, but I'm just saying that maybe that might be some of what was traumatizing you. It was their own traumas were kind of getting imprinted onto you. The animal power. Ladybug, appreciate blessings. Oh, that's so good. Ladybug. So some good luck is coming your way, for sure. Good luck. Good luck in love is what I hear. And then my older self, my adult self, decided to choose a deck from the Career and Life Path Oracle deck. And so there's 2 cards from that. My child self, my inner child, was like, "No, don't do that." But I was trying to just negotiate, saying "Hey, you got to choose all these other cards. Can I just choose a few that maybe will help us understand a little bit from the career and..." Oops, hold on one sec. Okay, I'm sorry about that. My camera was about to die. But what I was saying was these are the last 2 cards. I'm not going to pull any more of the tarot cards. We got 4 tarot cards for you guys, and I think you guys got the understanding. Yeah, so let's see what these are. Wish come true. Your wish is being granted, but it may not come in the way you expected. No worries, it's just what you need. That is beautiful. So some good luck with the ladybug and then your wish granted, meaning that you will be blessed. Whatever wish you're wanting, which I think is to actually experience more magic in your life, it's coming. And I really do think it's going to be in love as well. So if you, as far as romantic relationships is concerned, if you're looking for that, the 2 ladybugs and then the movement forward and the heart-centeredness of all of this, I really think that if any of you have dealt with some bad relationships, in the intimacy sector, you are going to be very pleasantly pleased and surprised. Yeah, let's see what else. Beginning. It's a good time to start a new job or a whole new career. You have creative ideas that get noticed. Build a nest egg for the future. Huh. Okay. Well, this is just the beginning, my friend. So there's a little chick in her nest here. Maybe got some eggs in that nest, I don't know. So your group, your inner child is definitely bringing back to your heart center to help you heal the heart by bringing magic back into your life, by using your imagination, by allowing yourself to believe what you want to believe. Yeah. There's a lot of spiritual evolution. You guys are awakening to a new realm of existence with all paths lead to the same home. Turning your gaze within, you are being asked definitely to meditate or set a practice for yourself, maybe. A little bit of Virgo energy here. There is a lot of Virgo energy in this one. But at the same time, not be too rigid or too structured in the sense that it keeps you stuck. There is movement, and you are healing. And like I said before, you will see the magic of life again. So let's get a card for you from this crystal deck. And you can use this crystal within the next few days, weeks, and months to kind of help you shift your energy. Let's see. Wow, okay. Wow, that's too many. Let's try it again. Well, let's do this top one because that was the one that I saw right away. It's a pink crystal. And it says pink halite. Self-love, replenish, and cherish. I can't make this up. This is nuts. Okay. Vibrating with love, pink halite allows you to shed layers of negative thought patterns and beliefs as you connect to the essence of your true self. Pink halite helps you embrace new spiritual practices, there you go, as a way of life, preventing you from picking up bad habits to begin with. With this stone, you will make choices out of self-love, honoring the highest version of yourself, and trusting that you will make decisions for your highest good. Pink halite is a natural form of the mineral salt, known to cleanse toxins from the aura and replenish one's energy field. And it is in connection with Cancer, Pisces, and Earth. Yeah, the Earth energy. Beautiful. Okay, now we're finished. So please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading. Go down to the comment section and let me know what resonated for you or what didn't resonate for you. That's okay. And please let me know if I can do anything better for the future videos or if there's anything that you guys would like to see. I always look at the comments, so let me know. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Jai Ma, and bye for now.